1-2-2, especially with their length, they can really create some havoc.
Boy, I thought for a second there'd be a flush by Timmy on the little mini alley-oop from Suggs. Instead, the reverse isn't there. So we stay at 3-0. Big stick by hand. Hey, Mikey, we like it.
Good job on Mike. He's the only real big that Portland has. If he can get Timmy away from the basket and continue to make those outside shots, it's going to open up some driving lanes for the rest of the Pilots.
Pilots love the pick and roll. They love the high pick. We'll see how much the Pilots switch, and that was just too easy inside for Timmy. That time the reverse is true.
And they've run that same play about 3 or 4 times now, and they're going to just keep going to that because they know that Portland has no answer for that.
So 5-3 early on. You like the idea by Dasher as he really sold it, and then the step back rattled in and out. Low, single coverage. Again, too easy. Timmy, that's like a layup drill.
They can ride him all night. There's no physical answer for him on the Portland roster.
That's exactly right. You go with what you have personnel-wise. Ali looking for that high pick. Splits the defenders. Floater, you bet.
And he had to work hard to get the bucket, but they've been trying to get a switch on the pick and roll and then try to attack Timmy off the dribble, and they haven't been successful with it. That time, Ali was able to convert. And you see he's so long with that length. He's good with both hands, and you see him get to the basket pretty easy, a little too easy on the Portland side of things.
Points in the paint, absolutely on Gonzaga's side right now, 9-5. Hedging to help, Timmy, outside Jay is good, and that's a big-time triple.
Well, Ali is the one guy, he has the experience. He's played in big-time games like this. With Portland going the JC route, this is kind of the first taste of this for some of the Portland guys, but Ali can lead them.
Ali leads this club in points and triples, and Portland hanging around early. Tonight's game is brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Gotta tell you, the clock just never winds down at Northern Quest. Enjoy Vegas-style gaming, millions in monthly jackpots. Food is terrific. Spa, luxury rooms, you name it. Plan your winter getaway at northernquest.com. There's a good look at Mark Few in his 22nd year with Gonzaga. 610 career wins. What he has done in terms of putting this club, the little mid-major at first, it was kind of a cute little sexy way of describing Gonzaga. No, they are big dogs, and they have been for a long time because of this guy.
And you know the thing about the big dog? Yesterday, he was so generous with his time with us yesterday. I greatly appreciated that. I mean, he really gave us a lot of time, and we had some good conversation about a lot of things.
Talking to he and Coach Porter, just terrific. We can't go to shoot-around, so a chance to chat with these guys on the phone as that ball is blocked. There's the follow-up. And Watson, Johnny on the spot, will go to the line.
Well, Kisper thought he had a good look from 3, and Dasher did a good job of challenging the shot, and he got a piece of it.
So unfortunately, Davis is whistled for his second foul.
Well, you saw that distinct size advantage take over there as Watson and Timmy are both bigger than anyone that the Pilots have on the front line. And Watson is so sneaky. He has done a great job of just being that nondescript player that's just doing all of the little things for the Zags.
Just love seeing him back on the floor after that shoulder injury. Stopped his season well short last year. He's healthy. He's the leader on defense, can score some for you as well. Just makes this club that much better.
Does all the little things, gets a lot of tips, a lot of deflections, and great help defender. And his scoring is going to come. He hasn't been aggressive on the offensive end, but it's going to come. Ferentsen
checking in for the Pilots as Jones splashes home the bucket that ties this game up.
Well, the three-point line can be the great equalizer. continue to go inside.
Boy, over and over is Watson on the layup drill. 13-11 now. And it's interesting because the Pilots don't butter their bread with the three-pointer. They only hit about 5 or 6 a game, and yet they've been pretty effective from beyond the arc so far.
Well, they had a real drought the other night after being up by 2, and then they went 0 for 8 in the second half from 3, and that was really to their demise. But I like the fact that Gonzaga's continued to pound the ball inside because they've got such a distinct advantage.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And obviously, defensively in the half court for Portland, it's imperative that nobody gets as deep as they are in this backcourt for Gonzaga. But how do you stop the bigs once they do get penetration?
Well, like in so many instances, you got to take what the defense is giving you and take advantage of the mismatches. And right now, they're just continue to pound them inside.
Nebhart checks in, scores immediately.
So everything in the paint.
Transfer out of Florida, gives you 10 points a pop. He's been a terrific transfer for Mark Few. Perimeter passing by the Pilots. Dasher picks it up and finally finds Ferentsen. He loses it. Quick hands by the Zags, and they want to run. Kispert all the way to the cup, you bet.
That's one thing that Nembhard does. He's a very good passer, and I love the look ahead and being unselfish.
Nebhard has just been on fire lately scoring, but you can see, as you said, Francis, a facilitator as well. Tough luck there by hand. Basket didn't want it. Here comes the Zags. Nice little Euro step through by Suggs to get by Taki.
Great footwork, great use of the offhand.
8-0 Zags run. It was 11 apiece. You look at the scoreboard now, 19-11 Zags. Big possession by the Pilots, Francis, just to get them feeling a little better about themselves.
Well, I think Gonzaga, they may continue to let him have those looks from out there. They'll live with that.
I love it. Jones cut off, nice footwork, and elevates.
Jones is the one guy that athletically, he can match up with any of these guys for Gonzaga as far as being a good enough athlete.
Nebhard picks up the dribble now inside to Timmy. Nearing double figures already, short on that shot. You got to rebound if you're the Pilots, if you got to have any hope in this one. Nice job inside by Dasher.
Guards have got to come back in and rebound. They can't stand around and watch. They got to go in there and battle with the bigs.
Plenty of time on the shot clock for Dasher. Guarded by Timmy, footwork, back rim and off, one and done. Kispert, and there's the extra pass. Look at that! What a find by Suggs.
Again, I feel like they've always got 5 guys on the floor that can handle the ball and pass, Gonzaga, and that's what makes them so dangerous. They don't have the plethora of bigs that they've had in the past. Exactly. They can do the high-low and some of the things that they like to do, but the way they move the ball and are unselfish makes them dangerous. But Ali keeps them in it.
Boy, did Ali hit that sweet spot there. He's got 8 points now with that 3, but the Zags quickly countered. Jalen Suggs had one of the best passes I have seen in a month of Sundays against by BYU just the other night. This one isn't too bad either. Woo! Here at the Child Center, top-ranked Gonzaga leading the hometown Pilots 23-16 in the first half. Hey, time for some extra credit courtesy of University Credit Union. Visit ucu.org to bank with your brain. Pilots Michael Henn, they call him Mikey, is a grad student from Bellevue, Washington, working on his MBA, carrying a 3.8 GPA. Hats off to you, Mikey. Love it. Henn's got the triple to show for the effort so far, and I'll tell you, The Pilots staying in this thing, Francis, via the 3-ball, and that's not usually the way they roll.
No, well, they make between 5 and 6 a game, and we mentioned that the other night in the second half they went 0 for 8, but tonight so far they're 4 for 7, and that's keeping them in it.
You bet. Turnover. Obviously, the Pilots can ill afford missed shooting opportunities.
You see Ballo is in the game for Gonzaga, and I expect to see them to try to feed it into him just like they were doing with Timmy and Watson.
Speaking of big, the big 7-footer, and there he is, and one. Ballo getting down low. He bounced around, pinged around the paint, and found a home on that low block.
And we mentioned in our open that one thing that Gonzaga needs to do is continue to try to get better, and they're getting their bigs some work tonight. They are going to force feed the ball inside. That's going to make the bigs, they're going to have to be active, they're going to have to be aware, and it's also going to make the perimeter guys be a little bit better, have a better awareness also of how to get the ball to guys where they want it and where they can do something with it.
Curtis, by the way, with that foul, his first, team's fourth. 25-16. Off the pick, Davis floating, athletically trying to find something on the putback, and the ball stays with the Pilots. You see the athleticism of Eddie Davis.
Yes. And right now, you can say that Portland is competing at a high level.
5-second violation. It looked like for a second the Pilots would try and call a quick timeout as Gonzaga's defense suffocating on that inbounds play, but the violation goes against Griffith and the Pilots.
Well, one problem the Pilots are going to have right now, they've got two guys in the backcourt that are under 6 feet tall. And you look at the size of the Gonzaga guards, and they can just swallow them up.
So Ali's first foul, team's fifth. Ayayi will go to the line. Well, you were watching WCC action. You got to join the conversation using the hashtag WCC Hoops for the latest news, scores, and more. Follow WCC Hoops on Twitter. I know you're high on this Ayayi from France and just having a career year. Last year was pretty good. This year even better.
Well, he's been a bit of a late bloomer. I mean, he's had to wait his turn, but he has definitely put in the work, and the fruits of his labor, he's being rewarded with that. And he's had a great season to this point, as you said, on both ends of the court.
Travel going against Griffith and the Pilots. You know, it's interesting. You mentioned waiting your turn, and when you go to Gonzaga, you may see a redshirt situation. You may understand that it's not going to be until your junior, senior year, maybe sophomore year, where the minutes really start coming in your favor. If you're patient, those minutes will come.
Yeah, well, I think Kispert's another great example of that. As we see them try to get the ball inside to Ballo again. But Kispert is going to be a 4-year guy. He's going to be a first-round draft pick, and he's waited his turn. And in 4 or 5 months, he's going to be a millionaire.
There it is. Ali picks up his second. Danger zone. You know, Kispert's it's a great example of that. Turned away money, if you will. Would have been probably a second-round draft pick in the NBA this past summer. Wanted to come back. It was a great choice, and look at him now.
It was a great decision, and he came and put in the work, listened to what the NBA people told him he needed to work on, which was mainly see if he could get some off the bounce. He's shown that he can do that, and he's missed a couple here early, but we know that that's just a matter of time.
Kispert had 9 trays against UVA earlier this season. 32 points, 9 triples. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he and Timmy put it on Virginia that night. They combined for 61.
Nebhard had a notion on the step back. Instead, goes to Kispert, and in this short corner is Cook. Turnover. Good defense to cut off that baseline by Griffith, forcing the turnover. It's been a couple of minutes plus since the Pilots have found the bottom of the net. That needs to change. 9:15 left to go in this opening half. down 27-16 to the top-ranked Pilots. The illegal pick up top. They got Curtis for that, his second.
Curtis, good-looking freshman out of Mount Si, high school up in the North Bend area, just outside of Seattle. And he's going to be a good player. He's the one guy that, once he puts on a little weight and gets a little more experience, good shot blocker, good around the rim, good athlete. And he's going to help the Pilots a lot inside.
Had those 6 blocks against Montana State. And altered the shot there. Follow-up, ball belongs to the Pilots. You know, Curtis only plays about 10 minutes a game and still leads this club in blocks.
Yeah, 4th in the league, I believe, in block shots.
Late bloomer in high school, just went off in the state tournament for Mount Si. He'll take a seat as Hen comes back in. But I'm with you as far as the potential high ceiling for that kid.
Yeah, his teammate Jade Mullins playing down at St. Mary's. They were a very, very good high school team and did a great job winning the state championship after losing in the finals the year before.
Chase Adams, starter last year, sub now. Great footwork by Chase. Great look inside, and the easy stick by Jones, but what a pass by Chase.
Chase Adams, if he can get a little penetration, he can break the defense down, but once again, Gonzaga continues to feed the big men, and Ballo gets an easy 2.
Points in the paint is just staggering in terms of the favor towards Gonzaga.
Move it.
Davis, front rim and off. Good board by Cook, and Zags want to push. Here's Nebhard. Short, staying with it, and there's Kispert again. Just didn't quit on that play.
Yeah, again, Kispert gets inside, and Adams is stuck with trying to block him out, and he's just too small.
Kispert at 6'7", Adams at 5'7", and yeah, man, that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. Yeah. Look at that pass inside. So pretty by Adams. And the counter into Ballo. Zags rolling. .36 left to go here in the first half. Top-ranked and undefeated Gonzaga leading Portland 31-18. Beat of the game is brought to you by Pulse Heart Institute.
Well, you know, coaches are always going to look for something to tell their guys to be aware of. And you see right here, Chase Adams breaks down the defense, and Suggs gets caught looking at the ball and loses sight of his man. And he gets back cut. Adams finds him, lay up Portland. Portland competing at a high level.
Multicare's Pulse Heart Institute provides first-class care, patient-centered approach to diagnose and treat patients with heart and cardiovascular disease. Adams with the foot speed, unlike a lot of the guys for Portland quicks, but a different kind of quicks with Adams. I like him in the lineup.
So Gonzaga has to make sure they try to keep him in front and see if he can beat them over the top.
Are we getting an and one? I don't think so. On the floor, whistle blew. Broken Bro, Holmes, and Watts are crew today. Well, wait a second now. That is an and one as Timmy picks up the foul. They've got 31-20 on the board, so it's a count the bucket and the three-point play for Davis.
So the first time we see Portland put a little full court pressure, not really pressuring them, just want to make them use up some clock, give them a different look.
Timmy. Extra pass, Timmy inside. No basket. And they're gonna say that Chase Adams committed the foul, his first. Team fouls piling up against the Pilots. And again, points in the paint, opportunities in the paint for the Zags continue.
Yeah, well, it's just being smart. We've got a distinct advantage. with our size, and we're going to pound that ball inside because we know that they have no answer for this.
You can't just add water, height, and girth, that's for sure. And the Zags, to your point, Francis, know that they can go inside at will. So what does Portland do to stay tight, stay believing?
Well, I like what they're doing on the offensive end. They're trying to get some matchups and attack certain guys off the dribble. They've been successful with that. We see Davis just puts it on the floor and raises up and knocks down the mid-range jump shot. But defensively, it's not that the defense has been porous. It's just that they can't finish the defensive possession and get a rebound. And this time, Jones gets to the boards, and now they can get out and make something happen offensively.
So the lead is 10 for Gonzaga. 6:30 left to go in this opening half. Adams, Hen likes the three. Back rim and off. Break for the Pilots. As Adams says, I don't want anything to do with the big guys inside. Adams again with 10 on the shot clock. Guarded by Suggs. There's that high pick. Adams knocked away. He's got to throw something up. Short, and here comes Gonzaga. The trailer Suggs. And we'll go the other way as Hen does a nice job of stepping in front to play the D, and Suggs with his second foul.
You want Suggs to be aggressive in attacking the basket, and Hen was definitely moving. So I think Suggs has a point on that one.
Second foul on Suggs, 15th foul, 33-23. Portland trying to carve into that deficit. Roll wasn't there. Ayayi. Look at how deep. Footwork, layup, Timmy.
That's great footwork, good use of the left hand.
10 points now for Timmy. Usually gives you 18. He's well on his way to a seasonal average.
I got it.
Gonzaga live with that.
Oh yeah.
They're not the best. Portland's not the best three-point shooting team. They've got to keep the ball moving side to side and try to find some driving lanes and create some open shots that way.
Push on 13. Here's my shooter here.
Adams doing a great job, and they're going to call a foul on Davis, I think. His third. There was a scrum for that loose ball. That's a huge foul going against Eddie Davis.
Yeah, that's a tough call against the Pilots and against Davis specifically. Just looked like a good scrum to me. Just let's see who can dig it out or tie it up.
Porter can't believe it. I don't blame him. Chase Adams doing a great job of trying to pick the pocket of his Gonzaga counterpart. Instead, more tosses for the Zags. Lane violation, Pilots. Hey, tonight's fan trivia question is brought to you by Arby's. Here we go. Tonight's meeting between Gonzaga and Portland, 170th meeting in program history. Zags own a big advantage in the series. How many straight games have the Zags won against the Pilots? What do you think, Francis?
It's a good one.
Well, I'm going to give you the answer. No, go ahead, guess. What do we get?
Oh, I'm going to say it's, trying to remember, but I'm going to say it's in the 20s.
Not quite. Not quite. Answer coming in a second. U of P been on a bit of a drought. Porter talked about runs and droughts. And I think you know what he meant by what he had to avoid with his club. Extra
that's
pass.
Good ball movement.
Jones, fake, and
Good
finish.
job.
Really good half-court execution by the Pilots.
You give Ali credit for being able to deal with that double team because he was swamped over there in the corner, but he gets that ball out of the double team and they get it to the other side for a wide open shot off the pump fake.
And then inside again. Watson with another bucket inside. It's demoralizing, Francis, when you have to work so hard to pick up a bucket and then boom, the Zags pick the ball out of the bottom of the net and score at will inside.
Yeah, well, this is the highest scoring team in the country. And they're not scoring at a high clip right now, but they are scoring easily.
There's the run out as Jones commits the foul. All right, so the question was between these two clubs, and they've met a ton of times, how many straight games have the Zags won against the Pilots? Even dozen. The last time Portland won was January of 2014. Otherwise, it would have been in the 20s. The Zags in the United States, #1 in the country in scoring, as Francis said, 2nd in field goal percentage, 3rd in assists.
And that assist number is going to go up tonight because they've been getting some great distribution by just about everyone and getting that ball inside to get those easy points in the paint.
Flipping it up, his hand, yeah, the percentage, the high percentage shots are just all over the shooting chart for Gonzaga. Good hands by the Pilots. The ball will stay with Gonzaga. Back in a moment. Picture postcard stuff above the clouds. Mount Hood, that's gorgeous. All right, don't forget to stick around for the University Credit Union halftime report. It's a good one. We'll revisit the Pilots on the women's side. They had those 2 ridiculously thrilling, crazy, down-to-the-wire victories in last spring's WCC tournament. In their own words, they're going to relive that experience that they will never, ever forget. You look at the first half scoring margin for the Zags. Tonight fits the bill, and here's another one for you, Francis. 30 paint points for Gonzaga so far out of the 41 in the books. Wow.
Yep. The game plan is being executed to perfection right now.
And Curtis picks up his 3rd foul. And whether they're playing high-low or just getting somebody down on the block and putting their big mid up, Gonzaga's ruling the roost down there.
Well, I like the discipline that Gonzaga is showing by sticking with this, because they've turned down some perimeter shots that ordinarily they would take.
Yep.
But I think, as we said, they're working on something. They're shooting for something that's on down the line that they're going to need. And so the perimeter guys are showing a lot of discipline by continuing to feed that ball inside.
And as good as Timmy was as a freshman last year, an even better sophomore campaign. He's got 12 points already. Oh. Look at that play by Timmy. Quick steal, Timmy again. 2 defensive beauties by Timmy.
That was a great effort by Timmy, and then he runs to the floor, does his work early.
Come on, come on. The last 30 seconds have been the Drew Timmy show. Both ends of the floor.
Great hustle play, way to run the floor, does his work, being a rim runner.
Time now for our Don Francisco's coffee moment of the game.
So you gotta love this. Great block with the left hand. He gets back, challenges that shot. Now watch him run the floor. Gonna run right down the middle of the floor again. The discipline that the perimeter players are showing, getting it inside to him, drop step, use the glass. Doesn't get much better than that.
That is just too good. All right, this moment of the game brought to you by Don Francisco's Coffee. High quality, great tasting coffee, backed by 150 years of coffee roasting experience. (45-27). 3:01 left to go in this first half. Pilots hanging tough the first 10-12 minutes of this opening half. And then Gonzaga exerting its strength and will. Ali with 11 now. He's doing his part. Cross court Nebhart. That hurts. Ayayi, easy pickings.
That's a tough one. They just not able to match up there. And Ayayi, who's one of the best rebounding guards in the country, just doing what he does best. He's got a nose for the ball, seems to understand and can track the ball and knows where it's going.
10 points now for the Frenchman, off his seasonal average of 12 by just a deuce.
Move it.
Ooh. Extra pass. Hen lets the defender fly by and scores.
Good job by Hen to be patient.
Let's see if the Pilots have a couple of defensive stops in them the last 2:05 of this first half.
Need to dig in, get some stops. Got to have some backside help there. Hen's too late.
And one.
It's an and one.
Timmy's so smart, letting Hen just fly on by, and he took that mismatch and made the Pilots pay.
Yeah, Hen was late recognizing that he was in the help position and just didn't get there in time. You see Nemhard, good seal by Timmy, and Hen's just late. Then he gets the flyby.
Farrenson picks up that foul as Timmy rattles it home. 50-30. Zags up by a bunch. Timmy now with 17 points to lead everybody. Dasher, tough look. Short, and here comes Gonzaga again.
That was great help D by the Zags that time.
Look at that extra pass. Ayayi mops up.
Seeing Ayayi just doing, that's his 8th rebound.
12 points, 8 boards. Ayayi looking for his 5th double-double of the season. And we're only in the first half. Getting late, but you get the idea. Hen stepping through. Hen blocked from behind. Watson with the defense. Look at the bounce pass. And the finish.
So unselfish, but they're so skilled. We talked earlier. There's never a time when they don't have 5 guys on the floor that can all handle the ball and pass.
So unselfish, so willing to find the open guy. It's just a clinic in terms of team basketball. Nice job by Ali. He knew the defense was coming and reverses that thing home.
Well, they got the matchup that they wanted, where he could use his quickness against Timmy out on the perimeter and get to the rim. And Zags provide no help, but pick and roll, pick and pop, pick and slip, whatever you want to do.
Pick your poison.
Get what they want.
12, 9, and 8 for Ayayi. Poised for a triple-double.
Yeah, Portland's got to find some type of a spark. I don't like the body language in that huddle over there right now. But they just got to keep fighting, though. I mean, it's just tough for them.
WCC All Access gives you an inside look at the West Coast Conference with insider access, feature stories, highlights, so much more. A new episode premieres each and every month. Visit WCCSports.com to find out how and when to watch. Good stuff. Gonzaga flexing its #1 muscles. I think a lot of folks with the rescheduling this week figured the Zags were going to have quite the test against BYU, as that game was kind of thrown together at the last minute. And the Zags cruised, and they haven't missed a beat today either. Great defense by the Zags. They just don't let up, do they, Francis?
Well, they went into the half-court trap, and Ali just did not do a good job of recognizing that. They needed to have somebody come in the backcourt with him and stay behind him so he would have an outlet. Then he dribbled right into the corner, so he's a dead man, so he's got to call a timeout.
When you get a chance to see Gonzaga in person, Francis, you know, you could go probably 10 deep in terms of what impresses you the most. But what really floats your boat with these guys?
Well, I know I've said it several times, but the ball movement we love, but I just think the skill of each of their guys in terms of handling the ball, passing the ball, being unselfish. I mean, everybody is on the same page. And even today with this game plan that they've come out with, where we're going to pound this ball inside, and they've shown that discipline and the understanding that this is what we need to do, this is what we're going to do to these guys, and it's not going to stop.
You talked about the joy of playing with the #1 ranking. You're seeing it today. All right, final seconds of this first half. Let's see if the Pilots can get a big bucket. Down to 5. Jones tag team. NBA 3 splashes home by Ali.
Good shot by Ali. You can live with that.
Ali has been terrific for the Portland Pilots. He's got the 16 points, but Gonzaga, all the buckets in the paint, translating to a very impressive first half for the #1 ranked team in the country. 56-35, Zags at the break.
WCC Basketball is brought to you by University Credit Union, inviting West Coast Conference alumni and fans to bank with your brain and open an account today. Visit us at ucu.org. By Nike, just do it. Proud partner of the West Coast Conference. By Geico, whether you rent or own, Geico makes it easy to bundle home and car insurance. Go to geico.com today. By Signature Championship Rings, your success set in stone. And by Hercules Tires, ride on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com.
Welcome to the University Credit Union halftime report. We're at the Chiles Center. Top-ranked Gonzaga leading Portland 56-35 at the break. Earlier today in Spokane, Gonzaga and Portland on the women's side met, with the Zags running away with that one. It was a rematch of last year's thrilling semifinal matchup in the WCC tournament. That was magic time for the Pilots. They defeat Gonzaga, and then they knock off San Diego to win the WCC championship, March Madness, and as I said, March Magic, and the players reminisce with great fondness.
12.3 to play, inbounded to Kempton. Worth. Off the glass is good this time. 8.6 to play.
She hit it and I was like, oh shoot, we got some work to do now. Like, credit to her, she's a great player. It's a great program. It was a great play that they ran to get her an inside look. But we knew that we had a play in our back pocket that we hadn't really used much throughout the season. And that was obviously Hurley, so that's the one we went to.
Yeah, me and some of the girls, we were like, these are the moments that we live for right here. This is what it comes down to.
We get into the huddle and then he's like, Haley, like, we're running Hurley for you. And he's like, get the handoff from Alex and just attack the rim and just like try to create something. So I was like, right, all right, I'll see what I got. And then I was just fortunate enough to hit him with the Euro, and
Haley got the ball and she was coming down. I knew you were gonna make it. And she hit him with the Euro, and I have never jumped that high out of my chair before.
Across midcourt at the buzzer! No good! Down go the Zags! This is March!
I like had goosebumps. Like, it was just the best thing that like I've ever experienced nearly in like my basketball career so far. It was just so much whirlwind of emotions that we just like didn't know like what to do, because I've never been in that situation before. We get into the huddle and Mike's like, Haley, like, we're running Hurley again. And I was like, oh, shoot, all right. But yeah, I got the ball and ran Hurley again and somehow hit him with the jump hook and was lucky enough to go in. I was on the inbound defender, and we'd scouted all like the inbounds plays for so many times. Like, I just remember watching in slow motion that the field guy girl, we all got confused, and I just remember watching her being all by herself, and I was like, no.
When I saw the shot, I knew it looked a little off, and so I was already jumping up and down acting like one.
The Portland Pilots will go dancing for the first time since 1997.
I don't know, for me it was like what? Like,
surreal, for sure.
Yeah, we just somehow won the WCC championship. Like, we're actually going dancing. Like, I was like, never in my like life would I have thought that I would like have or like get the opportunity to like go to the big dance.
Big by Gonzaga, up at the half. This portion of the Halftime Report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, winning, it's in our nature. So here at the Chiles Center, top-ranked Gonzaga leading Portland by a bunch. More to come from the Chiles Center.
No, I got it.
Gonzaga cruising at halftime against the Portland Pilots. And now let's check the Shamrock Office scoreboard for the rest of today's WCC action on the Shamrock Office Solutions scoreboard. What a ball game. Santa Clara defeating St. Mary's in a thriller 66-64. Keyshawn Justice, the hero. He had 23 big ones, including a triple and then a free throw to ice the big win for the Broncos over St. Mary's. The final. Shamrock Office Solutions, delivering Ricoh digital copier and solutions to the Bay Area for over 20 years. Back with more halftime in a moment. Top-ranked and unbeaten Gonzaga leading the University of Portland here at the Chiles Center 56-35. Pretty nice day here in the Rose City, and Gonzaga is loving what's going on in this building. Stats, Francis, what jumps out?
Well, the field goal percentage for Gonzaga is off the charts. And of course, the majority of those points, as you see, they're 0 for 5 from 3, have been in the paint. They're great from the line, but they've just been sharing the ball and just doing everything that they want to do. But I like the 14 assists. They average 20.6 assists per game. They had 14 in the first half, and that just speaks to how well they share the ball. They're all willing passers, and it also speaks to their skill level as well.
This is an offense that has a ton of freedom, and you can see it on display tonight as Hen goes deep. Basket waved off as he walks. Timmy playing the tough interior defense. And speaking of Drew Timme, how good was he in that first half?
Well, he goes 7-11 from the floor, and but he needs to be thanking his teammates for feeding him the way they were feeding him. He's doing a great job with just with the footwork and the positioning, but you got to love the way they're feeding him the ball.
Watson scoring at the rim again. Another inside the paint job. 10 points now for Watson over his seasonal average of 7 a pop. Back rimming off. Scuffle for that ball. Nice job by Dasher.
And Portland has to guard against one pass shot going up because we're down by 23. They need to continue to just try to execute their game plan. Early on, they were successful because they moved the ball, got it from side to side, got guys open looks. But don't be guilty now of, okay, we're down. I'm going to just put it on the deck and see what I can get. Keep playing together.
Knocked away by Hen. Here comes Ali, one of the bright spots offensively. Look at that pass and the finish by Jones.
And we told you Jones was the one guy that athletically he can match up with the Zags.
Jones in double figures. Great job by Ali to find him. Inside again, Timme. 21 now for Timme.
You know, Suggs, Nembhard, Ayayi, all of those guys are really good with the read off the ball screen.
One and done. Ayayi nearing a triple-double. Nobody in Gonzaga history has ever accomplished that. Will he tonight? Outside look, catch and shoot, Kispert. Three-pointer isn't there. All those points in the paint, Gonzaga doesn't care. Speaking of a three-pointer, Ali, short. Layup drill. Again, the bigs running the floor so well, Francis.
Well, they're so well drilled, missed or made, they're running. And they get to their spots on the floor. Guys look ahead. They're good finishers. Passes are on point where they can do something with it. It's just a well-oiled machine and it all works together.
So our Hercules Tires strong move of the game. Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Visit HerculesTires.com. Yes, sir.
And on that replay, you kind of saw Suggs just for a moment kind of think that maybe Jones was going to flare out to the three-point line because so many people now will stop at the three and take that shot on the break. But Jones continued to run, and he's an athlete, and he's got length, and he finished it with the two-hand slam off the oop.
One shot. I got shooter. Yeah. Watch out. I'm in his head. It's coming up.
Nice job by Hen. 62-38. All right, Francis. Ayayi is one assist away from a triple-double. It's just a matter of time. Inside look again, off the wheel, layup drill. Kispert finds a cutting teammate. It's just too easy.
Yeah, they get on that UCLA cut, and just an easy basket. And I said at the half, the body language of the Pilots wasn't good, and it's not good right now either.
So Watson in double figures as well. Whew, Gonzaga rolling. Tonight's game is brought to you by Numerica Credit Union. This season, Numerica Credit Union is proud to celebrate every Gonzaga assist with a $100 up to $7,500 to Children's Miracle Network in support of local sick and injured kids. Numerica Credit Union. Live well.
It's a good thing they put a cap on that for a number of us.
Yeah.
Because, boy, they go broke the way these guys pass the ball.
Back in action. Hen in that short corner. Ali will bring it out. 17 assists and counting for the Zags. A lot of money going to a good cause as they're sharing the wealth on the floor tonight. One and done. And there it is, Ayayi with the assist, and he is the first Gonzaga Bulldog in school history with the triple-double, Francis.
Big time, big time. He's definitely making his mark.
Oh, that just gives me the chills. What a performance by Ayayi as Hen splashes home the triple. Last year making his mark as the most outstanding player in the WCC tournament and just getting better by the year. Kispert with the triple.
Well, you find a guy like that, you know, and Suggs and Kispert and Timmy are getting a lot of the attention. But Ayayi very quietly is making his mark and doing some things here that are going to start to garner him a lot of attention as well.
First triple-double. Think of all the great players that have come through Gonzaga. And Ayayi stands alone, first in school history and the first in the WCC since 2019 when Eli Scott dropped 21, 13, and 13 against Grambling. I know there's a bunch of time left in this game, but Francis, it's time to announce tonight's player of the game presented by A to Z Rental. Take it away, friend.
You got to give it to him.
Come on.
You got to give it to him.
Come on.
12 points, 12 boards, 10 assists. I mean, he's just played an outstanding game. You know, we featured him in our Open because he's the WCC Player of the Week. Putting his bid in to do it again this week, but he's just played an outstanding game. Very efficient, making it look very easy. But again, these are the types of things that are going to allow the Zags to get better as it gets deeper into the season and we get to tournament time. And they've got so many weapons, so many people that they can call on. But Ayayi garnering some attention here.
Joel Ayayi, the first triple-double in Gonzaga history. Hey, no job too small, no job too big, 8 convenient locations. We rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player.
And that also deserves a congratulations.
Oh. Nice drive by Davis, playing in foul trouble, but aggressively going to the cup. And Watson got him. Second.
And early in the game, that's a lot of what Portland was doing. They would create the matchup that they wanted and then attack off the dribble. They got away from that. Now, that time they come out of the timeout, which, by the way, that was their last full timeout. And they get the ball into the hands of Davis, and he attacks Watson off the dribble.
So Davis splashes that toss home, 69-42. It was tight early, first 5 minutes, back and forth, and then Gonzaga took over. Kispert deep and gets the kind roll.
That's a nice job of avoiding taking that charge by stepping around the defender.
Kispert in double figures again, leads this club with nearly 22 a game. Ali picks up that dribble. No man's land. Here's Hen. Dumps it inside, 9 on the shot clock. Hen, NBA 3, you bet.
He shot it well tonight. He shot it well. He has to be aggressive. They're going to give him that, and he's capable of making it. He's actually their best three-point shooter, and tonight he's done a good job with that.
And one as Hen gets beat down low. How quickly Gonzaga attacks even after a Portland make.
Yeah, but you see Ali's trying to defend down on the baseline. You see him there. He was back there somewhere. You couldn't really see him, but he's trying to defend Timmy down there. Gets a little help from Hen, but it's too late. 3
fouls now on Ali. As another big game for Drew Timme, 5-star kid out of Texas. A lot of these Gonzaga guys, Francis, you make a note when they don't get into double figures. You make a note when they do have a cold shooting night.
Yeah.
You just don't see it.
Yeah, well, the 5 guys average in double figures.
Yeah.
And, but you can, whose night is it going to be? Because there's going to be games where, Kispert hasn't scored at a high clip tonight, but there's going to be games where the defense is going to be set to take him out of the game. And other guys are going to have to step up.
Wraparound feed, and that's a beauty from Timme inside to Watson. You make a great point. Other guys can step up, and Kispert is just fine with that.
Yeah, and it won't be a role that they're not familiar with, because this is the type of setting that, okay, granted, Portland's overmatched. We understand that. But Gonzaga's doing exactly what they should be doing, and they're working on things, and they're trying some different things because as we get into March, as we all know, things change.
Blocked from behind by Jones. Let's see who that foul is going to go against. Jones got him his second. I think he got the ball, but he also got the head. So Watson got knocked in the coconut, and he'll go to the line. While you're watching WCC action, join the conversation using the hashtag WCCHoops for the latest news, scores, and more. Follow WCC Hoops on Twitter. They're going to be talking about Joel Ayayi's triple-double, I'll tell you that. Ayayi has just been quietly under the radar, stuff on the stat sheet.
Well, the people that know basketball, they're paying attention.
You know it.
And they understand what they're doing. And it's just, it's maybe was a bit of a secret weapon, but I think the secret's out now.
Elevation, not there for Davis. Suggs looking. And the block is going to go against Davis. That's his 4th. Team's 3rd. 13:49 left to go. This game well in hand for the top-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs. As Ferentsen checks in Gonzaga is so hot from the field, 7 for their last 8. Suggs. Oh my goodness! Show and go, and then kisses it off the glass.
Good extension, good English.
And Suggs picks up his 4th foul. But what a basket by Suggs on the other end. Takes on the Pilot big. Looks like he might dump it off and then kisses it off the glass. Wow.
He's always going to the basket strong because he has no problem with absorbing and seeking out the contact.
Well, he was a dual threat quarterback in high school, so he's okay with contact. He loves it.
See, Portland has to understand that just like Gonzaga's working on things, they've got to understand as this season progresses, this is going to be a learning experience for them as well. You can kind of see that Ali and Hen have been around the block a couple of times by the way they're continuing to play and to compete. The other guys, this might be the first time that they've really been kind of slapped around the way they're getting slapped around tonight. But you've got to understand, you got to keep playing, keep competing. You got to learn. Sometimes you have to take your lumps. You're taking some lumps tonight, but you can take some of the things you get out of this game and apply them going forward.
All the new faces for Terry Porter and the Pilots. A lot of transfers in. Ali and Hen being 2 of those transfers. They've been around the block with D1 experience. And you know Porter's relying heavily on these 2 guys. Swing pass, sweet stroke by Strother, who's on the floor, the freshman out of Vegas.
Well, yeah, don't sleep on the guys that we're not hearing about. They've got some talent sitting over there, waiting their turn.
You love the defense as Cook draws it. Dasher commits it.
Yep, Cook missed the last couple of games, but feeling better, back in the lineup.
Transfer out of SIU is Aaron Cook. Another good get for Mark Few. He and Nebhard, great additions to the club via the transfer portal. Inside look, hesitation, double team, extra pass, and 1. Strother to the line.
And even with Timmy in that situation right there, he just took his time. He could have taken that shot if he wanted to, but he sees Strother cutting on the baseline, being unselfish, drops it off. Let the freshman get some.
You bet. And Adams had no chance as he gives up a foot to Strother. He commits his 2nd, team's 5th. Again, the unselfishness of this Gonzaga club. They're so happy to make that extra pass. They revel in their buddies experiencing buckets.
Strother, a great looking stroke on that free throw. Great rotation on that shot.
Gonzaga 18 for 20 from the charity stripe. Getting well in the paint and the stripe.
Keep it moving. They got to keep the ball moving.
There's the pick. Let's see what Suggs does. Just misses the and 1, but he draws the foul from Curtis. That's 4 now on Curtis. Suggs staring down the 6'9" freshman saying, "Here I come." Again, Suggs, McDonald's All-American, top 5 kid, Zag's highest ever recruit. He's from West St. Paul, Minnesota. And Francis, the first time in state history, one guy wins Mr. Football and Mr. Basketball, those awards in the same year on the high school ranks.
Oh yeah, he was definitely a diamond. Everybody in the country was looking for him.
Yeah, baby.
In both sports.
Mark talks about his willingness to learn. He's a sponge.
Yeah. Yeah, he talked a little bit about having to come in, maybe humble himself a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of these guys are used to being the best guy on the floor.
Curtis blocked twice inside. Stayed with it.
But we just spoke a bit earlier about the learning opportunity for Portland as well. Curtis, as he gets bigger and he gets stronger and he matures, he's going to be able to play through that contact. But right now, he's just a true freshman, and tonight he's going to have to take some lumps and learn from him.
Strother picks up that foul, by the way. 12 minutes to go in this game. 86-50. Gonzaga looking for its 15th straight win, dating back to last year. Step back, Ali. That was short, and here comes Gonzaga looking to push every time. Inside look, Ballo, double team, and the walk will go against Ballo. 86-50, Zags rolling. Coverage of our WCC men's basketball game brought to you by Primera. Block after block, and just denying Curtis inside. You see the frustration. Look at the D, Francis.
Yep. Well, they did a good job of swarming Curtis down on the baseline. Strother's got length, and then Ballo comes back at 7-1 and great length, and just making it tough for Curtis in there. But you know, that's, again, we talked about it. Curtis has to play through that, learn from it, give him some motivation next time he's in the weight room.
Haha, Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga Bulldogs, and they're rolling tonight, 86-50, 11:35 left to go in the second half. Good look at Strother there, the freshman out of Las Vegas. Adams, contested by Ballo, follows through on his own miss. Good job by Chase, hawked on that near sideline. Berenson, triple, you bet.
Shot. You know, those have been few and far between, but again, get some confidence. Just keep playing.
You bet.
Get some confidence.
Suggs, alley-oop. That thing hit the rim, and here comes Portland. Griffith, one of those transfers we were talking about, as Triplett enters the Portland Pilot lineup. Freshman out of Australia. Extra pass. Triplett, you bet. And Chase Adams has made things happen.
He has. He's come in, he's sparked them. He's found some guys, gotten them some good looks, and Triplett is the beneficiary that time.
So we'll whistle that ball dead as Adams picks up the foul, his third. I know you're old school just like I am. I know you are. You know, and we've been talking about the rich history in the WCC and some guys that we lost recently. And, you know, it made me think about you and your rich history in this conference. And then the Russell Rule. Mm-hmm. You and I have been talking a lot about the Russell Rule and, you know, the WCC adopting the rule, the first ever conference. Why does this matter, Francis?
Well, personally, you know, anything that is a sincere effort to promote diversity and inclusivity, I'm all in. I think it starts with Gloria Navarez.
You bet.
I think it starts with her at the top. She's the first, you know, the only Latinx D1 commissioner. And so I think it starts with her and some of the things that she's trying to implement. So to name that rule after Mr. Russell, who was huge in the civil rights movement and a lot of things that have been going on in the country in his younger days, like I said, I'm all for it, and I applaud the WCC for making that move.
Russell, one of the all-time greats to wear USF gear, so enthusiastic about the Russell Rule. And this isn't just about head coaches. I mean, in terms of underrepresented folks, this is about ADs, yes, head coaches. This is about assistant coaches, managers. I mean, it goes top to bottom. And Gloria and the presidents of the WCC, every member institution, a part of this. And I salute this conference for that.
I do as well. I do as well, because the presidents had to sign off on it, and they did. So the sky's the limit. Let's see where that takes us. Let's see what's next.
Bill Russell, as you mentioned, so huge in civil rights initiatives since he was a young pup at USF and with the Boston Celtics, and now it continues. Awesome. And good job by Triplett, his second triple.
He's got a good-looking stroke. He and Chase Adams, you can see that they've worked together.
Look at Chase, and one, baby. That's huge. I mean, he takes on Strother, he gives up a foot, and he gets that thing down.
Keep competing. You mentioned it. Chase Adams came in, he got Triplett a couple good looks. Now Triplett's knocked down back-to-back threes. And again, just compete, play hard, see what happens. No fear.
I mean, this is a guy that started his entire freshman year, has taken on a new role for the Portland Pilots, and just works and grinds every day, and that is a heck of a finish by the little guy.
Absolutely. Just go hard.
So the Zags on a bit of a drought, 88-62. Chase Adams just getting everybody going. Harris, by the way, entering the Gonzaga lineup. Look at the Pilots showing a little grit. Here's Chase again.
Move it.
You bet. In this
Get out of that corner.
near corner, Chase gives it up, and this is trouble. Suggs takes it himself and gets the kind roll.
You see, that's back-to-back plays where we can talk about Suggs briefly. He missed that three in the corner. Now, that's where he's going to have to improve his game when we start talking about the next level. Because he's a one-and-done unless something happens. But he's got to work on that outside shot. And sometimes when he's going to the paint, he's got to make a little better decision as Triplett is on fire. That's 3 in a row.
Triplett, and that's a career high. He's a freshman. He's had 3 points a couple of different times. And look at all the triples from the freshman. Down under, baby. Nice job by Griffith. He'll draw the foul. Good job on the weak side rebound as the foul is going to go against Harris and the Zags.
Let's see, Chase Adams and Triplett probably on that second team during practice.
Yep.
They're very familiar with each other. And Adams will go hard. He knows where his buddy's going to be. He finds him, puts it right on the money for him to catch it and shoot it. And Triplett's reaping the benefits. Good job by those two.
Triplett, scoreless in his last 7 games. And he has come off the bench, he and Adams, to your point. And you got to look for some positives for the Portland Pilot. You've got to look at the guys that are saying, Coach, I'm going to earn my minutes.
Yes.
2 of those guys doing just that.
Yeah, so when you see some of the instances where maybe guys had a little bad body language and you don't want to see that, you want to try to maintain some positivity, but it's a good job by this group to come in, and they are at least fighting as hard as they can, doing their best, which is all you can ask of anyone. 9
points now for Triplett. Again, scoreless in his last 7. His previous high was 3. Well done, young man. Balo wants it inside instead. Off the drive, Strother. Pilots do not like that bailout call, and Strother will go to the line. Triplett with his first. And the team fouls mount up, number 9 for the Pilots. Zags, you see the scoring teams under Mark Few. Well, we're at 91 right now, and Mark Few just continues to find the guys that fit well together as a team, 9, 10, 11 deep, and they just pour on the points.
Yeah, well, we were talking yesterday. That was something that I was trying to talk to him about a little bit. It's just that they've always played fast. And with this group, it seems like they're playing even faster.
When you look at this Gonzaga schedule, it's been pockmarked because of COVID, but it's the first team in history to beat 4 top 20 teams in the first 7 games of a season. They've taken on the Blue Bloods, they've taken on the big dogs, and they say, we're the bigger dog. Amen, brother. Here Here's what's in the Reveal Suits Spotlight. Reveal Suits, it's what's inside. You know, before Eric Spoelstra coached the Miami Heat to the NBA championship, he scored over 1,000 points playing for the Pilots. Yes, sir, Eric, WCC Freshman of the Year in '89. And Francis, he wore the number 30 because it was the number of his favorite Portland Trailblazer, Terry Porter.
Porter, that's right. Yeah, Spoelstra doing a great job down in Miami and making the WCC proud.
I think maybe one of his best coaching years was just this last summer in the bubble. Not a lot of folks were expecting Miami to do what they did, and I just thought he had those guys dialed in.
They really were, and you know, that's a credit to him. But he has proven, you know, during his time that with the different types of teams in Miami, they've had success.
Gosh, he was fun to watch here. So much fun. He was as good as it got wearing the Portland gear. Adams, so quick, switching hands, pulling back, short. Ayayi, Mr. Triple-Double, looking for another assist and gets it. Look at that alley-oop, and the finish was easy pickings for Watson.
And, you know, and we've talked about on both teams things that they need to be aware of, things they need to work on and understand what the other team is doing to them now. That isolation in some instances that you see Portland trying to get so that they can attack Gonzaga off the dribble, some of their bigs, you start thinking about some of the other teams around the country, like a Villanova or someone like that, that will put it on the deck and try to take you off the dribble, but now with a little bit different caliber of competition. So Gonzaga has to understand that that's something that they're going to see, and they have to as well be preparing for that.
Watson, by the way, whistled for his third infraction. Double figures coming at you from everywhere on the floor for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. All of them right now on the floor, all in double figures. Pick your poison, pal.
Yep.
And again, we'll be celebrating Joel Ayayi's triple-double, the first in Gonzaga history to hit that. Unbelievable. Points in the paint, assists, piling up for the top-ranked and undefeated Gonzaga Bulldogs. There's the roll off the pick, hesitation, extra pass. Offensive board by Timmy, and the Zags will reload. Kispert wheeling in that paint. Timmy missed him. Watson splashes home the triple.
We talked about that with Coach Pugh yesterday about Watson's offense kind of catching up with his defense. He's more than capable, and it's good to see him to be confident and take that outside shot and knock it down.
Ferentsen answers with the triple. You know, Watson was only 1 for 13 from beyond the arc going into that, going into today's game. So that was a nice confidence builder for him.
Yep, and that could rattle your confidence a little bit, 1 for 13. But I had the pleasure of watching this kid in high school win back-to-back state championships with Gonzaga Prep in Spokane, and he can do it all. And I think right now he's deferring a little bit, but that's okay because it just allows that ball movement to always stay crisp.
Nice job by Nebhard, kind of feeling his way into the paint and scoring. And you talk about Watson, his AAU coach from 6th grade through high school was none other than John Stockton. So you know his handles are good and his scoring catching up.
Yeah, he was a pretty good passer.
Nice job by Adams. Has 6 now in double figures for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They just crush you with so many different guys.
Don't get behind.
5 minutes left to go in the game. And 1, Watson to the line.
Yeah, and their execution in the half court is just as devastating as when they get out on the break. But again, the skill level and the basketball IQ that all of these guys have, and their willingness to play together and be unselfish, it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Ferentsen with the foul, slaps from behind, no chance. Beautiful job by Nebhard. Again, the transfer out of Florida did a great job for the Gators in the 2 years there.
Well, he started 67 games there, but I think he really benefits from the national team experience that he got up in Canada. He's been on the junior national team. for a couple years, I believe led them to a silver medal, and got some senior national team experience as well, which can just be invaluable. So he's got a lot of international experience and understands how to play, and played in a great program at Montverde as well.
Really like his game a ton. Nice block inside by Ferentsen.
There's his buddy. See, Timmy gives him a huge advantage too, of being able at that size to take the ball off the glass on the break and bring it.
Ayayi falling out of bounds, manages to save it to Watson. Nebhard, extra pass, triple, Kispert. And what Nebhard has been able to do in terms of assisted turnover is just really incredible. He has been unbelievable in the assisted turnover ratio, especially the last 5. Look at that block inside. Curtis with the rejection.
He's good at that. He'll be all right.
Yeah,
He'll be all right.
is. Leads this club in blocks. Triplet. Nice job. Takes on Timmy and scores. What a game for Triplet. 11.
That two-man game with Chase and Triplet, man, they got to find an answer for that.
Triplet came into this game scoreless over his last 7. His previous season/career high was 3. Oh boy, just no interior defense down low. And those really are layups for Timmy and company.
Yep.
26 now for Timmy.
But Curtis, don't get discouraged. Just keep playing.
108-79. Come on back for the stretch run. Top-ranked and undefeated Gonzaga rolling here in Portland, leading the Pilots 108-79. Tonight's play of the game is brought to you by Multi-Care Health System.
Well, there's another nice look ahead by Ayayi, getting another assist. Watson running the floor. But we talked about the ball handling and the adept passers that all of these perimeter players for Gonzaga seem to be, and it's just a good job of Ayayi to look ahead. And Watson, career high, 23.
Yep.
Done a nice job.
Previous career high was, I think, 15, 23 now for the sophomore from Spokane. To stay in the game, Multi-Care's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. Just a great job by Watson on both ends of the floor. Active hands, great defender. Love to see him healthy again, and boy, a career high today.
And he's been doing a great job passing the ball, but no assist today for Watson. He's being greedy today. He's eating today.
Yes, he is. Off the pick, Triplet leans into it, and he'll go to the line. You see the aggressive, confident Zach Triplet hit that first 3, and off he goes. And Ben Gregg enters the game. Out of Clackamas, Oregon, graduated early from high school, Francis, and enrolled, joined the team mid-December, did Gregg, after he had signed with them in November. And Mark calls him a baller.
Well, the Zags did a good job doing recruiting the Portland, Southwest Washington area. Ben Gregg, as you said, from Clackamas, and they got another kid, Caden Perry, in this recruiting class as well. From Battleground, people are going to love him too. That's a career high for on that last basket.
Inside look, Strother stays with it, Strother.
You know, Strother has good length as well. He's a good looking player.
Continues to pile on his career and, well, season career, freshman, do the math, and he's having a terrific game. Unlucky there for Adams as he tried to find Curtis, who wasn't ready for that drive and dish.
Curtis didn't realize that he was open. Got to have your hands ready. Curtis will grow so much from this game. He's going to learn a lot after he digests and gets over the disappointment of the loss. But he's going to learn a lot from this game and grow from it.
Arlauskas into the lineup now for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Looking to set their season high in points. They scored 112 against Dixie State. That's where we stand with under 2 minutes to go. There's the pick. Griffith and the layup.
Yep, Mbalo didn't do a good job of reading what was going on there, but there's also another opportunity maybe for a back cut from the overplay. 9
points now for Griffith. Transfer out of Southwest Tennessee Community College. 2 off of his team high. 29 assists on the season for Gonzaga. That is a season high as Ballo mops up. And a new season high in terms of points for Gonzaga. Tip my cap to Chase Adams.
Yep, Adams, he's competed hard the entire night.
Yeah, he has. That's a guy that doesn't look at the scoreboard. 7.7 assists for Adams. He just plays hard.
Yep, he does.
Under a minute to go.
You know, we do want to send our best out to Coach Dave Rose at BYU, who suffered a stroke, and we want to wish him the best and hope he's doing better. We also want to, send our condolences to the families and to the WCC family as we lost Casey Jones and Paul Westfall.
Yep.
And then we lost James Hardy here recently as well. So condolences to the families and to the WCC family, and again, our best wishes to Coach Dave Rose from BYU.
Harris with his second foul. Thanks for bringing those guys and their names up, and with deep respect.
Absolutely. Well, we talked about the Russell rule. Casey Jones was a teammate of Bill Russell's at USF and with the Celtics, so they go way back. And Westfall, what a nice guy. I got a chance to spend a little time with him at the college basketball Hall of Fame inductions back in 2018. He gave me about 30 minutes. We had a great conversation. Had a good time. It was a great class that went in. Westfall, Moncrief, Sam Perkins, Sean Elliott. It was a big-time class, and it was a lot of fun. So just sad to see that he lost his battle with brain cancer.
And there's Greg. First points of his college career. Ben Gregg. How about that? Well done in his home state.
Yep.
Great job by Griffith, coming in at about 6'1", going up against 3 different Gonzaga Bulldogs. First bucket, Ben Gregg, first of many.
Yeah, they do such a great job of getting the young guys early, and then they start grooming them, and they do just a great job of developing bigs. So we'll hear from Ben Gregg, I'm sure, on down the line. Him, Ballo, we're going to hear from them.
Ballo, by the way, whistled for that foul. Points in the paint really took the life out of the Portland Pilots in the first half. The assists piling up as well. And, of course, Joel Ayayi's triple-double, first in Gonzaga history. As we'll count down the final seconds. A convincing Gonzaga victory. Number 1 and then some, huh? 116-88, Gonzaga.
Well, as advertised, Zags are impressive, and they did what they needed to do, and I think that they'll get a lot out of this because they were able to work on some things. Portland lived to fight another day, but you had some guys come in that competed hard, and they're gonna learn from this as well.
Joel Ayayi with the first ever triple-double in Gonzaga history. And we're waving at him, and he's waving at us. Joel, quietly, you just had yourself a game, young man. First ever triple-double in Gonzaga history. Think of all the great players that have come before you that you're playing with, and you create a little magic and some history. Your reaction to that?
I'm just happy. Obviously, it came with a good victory, so I'm really happy about that. But all those assists and rebounds and points, without my teammate, wouldn't be possible. So I'm just, the one lucky who had it first. I'm sure a bunch of players will have it too, and. Yeah, I'm just happy right now. Happy, and I feel grateful.
You're being humble, man, but congratulations. That's big time what you did today, and you should be real proud of what you accomplished. And that's great that you give your teammates credit, but you did a great job. But with that, you guys are all so unselfish. You guys are so skilled, and you seem to all be on the same page and really be willing to pass the basketball. Where does that come from?
First of all, thank you. And, it's just the Zag culture. That's just our standards, We really want to move the ball. We really want to do whatever is good for our teammate. Sacrifice, we talk about sacrificing a lot. And there's nothing better than seeing the teammate happy. Nothing better than give yourself for your teammate. And that's just what we practice every day. That's really our culture. And I think a bunch of players from a bunch of generations at Gonzaga can attest to that.
Joel, congratulations. 12, 13, and a career-high 14 assists. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Joel.
That's going to do it from the Bluff. #1 Gonzaga overwhelms the University of Portland 116-88. Zags stay perfect in WCC play, extend their winning streak to 16 going back to last year. And it's Gonzaga's 13th straight over the Pilots. For Francis, our entire crew, I'm Ann saying so long from the Child Center. And thanks for spending part of your Saturday evening with us. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Be safe, stay healthy. It was a treat to see the #1 team in the country do their thing today at the Child Center. All those points in the paint, all those assists added up to a 116-88 win for Gonzaga. Have a great night and see you down the road, everybody.